Hello, America. Welcome back. This presentation is called My Glock is Not a Firearm, presented to the American people and the people of Massachusetts on 9 December in the year 10 ABC, which means 10 after Bitcoin. In January 2019, my property was seized and I was deprived of rights under color of law. I was accused of carrying a firearm without a license in Massachusetts and faced a 1.5-year mandatory minimum confinement in the county jail. This case has since been dismissed, and I am free. The following is an excerpt from a motion to restore property before the Honorable Judge Jennifer Ginsburg of the Worcester District Court in Massachusetts on 11/25/2019, about 2:30 in the afternoon, wherein I said, "Your Honor, my Glock is not a firearm. The 9mm Glock belonging to me is an arm for personal use, an arm in the defense of my property, an arm to aid magistrates or officers in dispersing and suppressing unlawful assemblies, and an arm necessary to the security of a free state. I invite this honorable court to take judicial notice of the following 3 Massachusetts statutes. MGL 62C 55 Alpha recognizes arms for personal use as property exempt from state tax levies. This legislation affirmatively, intentionally, and purposely protects the people's right to keep and bear arms for personal use from the infringement of state tax levies. MGL 149, Section 177 recognizes arms in the defense of his property in the same way as the Massachusetts Constitution secures the people's natural, essential, and unalienable rights of enjoying and defending their lives, liberties, and their property. MGL 269, Section 4 provides that magistrates or officers may require the aid of persons in arms to disperse and suppress riots or unlawful assemblies, which is essentially the same as that announced by the federal Constitution. Quote, the Second Amendment could be rephrased, because a well-regulated militia is necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. See District of Columbia versus Heller. Your Honor, the 9mm Glock I keep is beyond the constitutional power of the legislature to reach and must be restored to me. That is, regarding the term firearms. All firearms are arms. The Constitution divides arms into 2 groups. Arms that people keep shall not be infringed, and arms not kept by the people which are subject to government. The arms people keep belong to the people, are not defined by statute, are not taxable, are not licensed, and not restricted. The arms subject to government does not belong to people, is defined by statute, is infringible, is licensed, and restricted. The arms that people keep are recognized at Mass General Laws 62C, 149, and 269 as aforementioned, and the firearms included are not defined by the statute. The arms not kept by the people include firearms subject matter to a crime, firearms within the transportation or commercial activities of selling and purchasing and commerce, and also arms and firearms belonging to the government. The government may define firearms as in MGL Chapter 140, Section 121. The arms people keep are definitely not arms defined by statute. My 9mm Glock belongs here, and therefore it is beyond the constitutional power of the legislature to reach. You see, Your Honor, when a statute includes an explicit definition, we must follow that definition, even if it varies from that term's ordinary meaning. And it is axiomatic that the statutory definition of the term excludes unstated meanings of that term, such that when the legislature explicitly defines the term firearms, its meaning must exclude arms for personal use, arms in the defense of property, and arms necessary to the security of a free state. And since Every statute is to be read in the light of the Constitution. However broad and general its language, it cannot be interpreted as extending beyond those matters which it was within the constitutional power of the legislature to reach. That is, words of universal scope will be construed as meaning only those subject to the legislation. It is obvious that the arms that the people keep, including mine, are beyond the constitutional power of the legislature to reach, which simply is a simple way of saying that the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. As your honor is aware, it is constitutionally impermissible to shift the burden of proof as to an element of the crime to the defendant by means of a presumption. See Sandstrom versus Montana. Since no fact supports the prosecutor's presumption that the Glock belonging to me is not an arm for personal use or arms necessary to the security of a free state, it cannot be an element of an alleged crime and must be restored to me. Wherefore, I respectfully move this honorable court to restore the 9mm Glock sidearm belonging to me, which I keep as an arm for personal use and for the security of a free state, together with such other just and lawful relief as the court may deem reasonable. P.S. What about MGL 60, Section 24, the collection of local taxes and the levy by distress or seizure and its exemptions? In that statute it says, the tax collector may levy the taxpayer by distress except for his tools or implements necessary for his trade and military arms and equipment, etc. Clearly, the legislature intends that the people shall have every means of arms available to us for our lawful defense. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, and do your part for the security of a free state.